What would you do if you can start over? What would you do differently if you were given a chance to go back in time? Like when you were a little child, what have you understood now that if somehow the universe just give you another chance to just become a little boy again, but with all the knowledge that you have, what would you do differently? Write down in the comment section, or you just take a little piece of paper and write that down, because that's going to change your life. Now, this video is not just simply about what you will do, but it is what you will start doing at this moment. What is that, and how can you know it? You see, most of our life is shaped by really critical decisions. I mean, really hard ones. And if you think about it, for instance, you've been used to see my videos with hair on, like I have big hair, and suddenly I just cut my hair, and now, of course, even though I'm more beautiful, yeah, I'm joking. I do look pretty in this video, right? But it is shaped by having the ability to take radical decision and just being fine with them, you know. For instance, I don't know if this should be a huge consideration to everyone, but making a decision actually comes down to knowing that this decision is something that you can go back on. Like, if I cut my hair now, there is no way in the world that I can put them back on right rapidly. It might change in the future, but it's changed the course of how I live for the next time to come. And that is how everything you do right now is shaping your life. Like coding simply hair or doing a very little thing, everything is shaping your life, and you have to be aware of that. You have to be really truly aware of that, and that is something really important that I wish I knew when I started my journey. And of course, I will tell you a little story, a very simple story. When I was a little kid, I always dreamed of success. I always wanted to become more, but the reason behind that was just simple. It was because I discovered something that were not common in my village, or the place I was living in, which is actually my village. That is a book that I came across. Of course, before that, I was truly a very ambitious person, because not being ambitious doesn't make you become ambitious just discovering in his books, but it just revealed to me that ambitious side of myself. That what it was in that book, it is a self-development material, and that book was talking about how our mind and how our thought is shaping our reality. You see, our life is just the combination of decisions we make, as I said earlier. But how are those decisions made? Those decisions are made because of your thought, because of what you think about. Here is what happened. We have three processes. We have first what you choose to focus on, and then you have the meaning that you give to that thing, and then you have the decision, what you choose to do with it. For instance, you focus on this video, right? But what is the meaning that you're having from the video? Okay, you have a meaning, like you have written down the thing that you could have done different if you can go back in time. Then what are you going to do about it? Every time we are making that decision, we are going through that process. And when I discovered that, it was a huge change moment for me. But I didn't know, and I didn't have the tool, although still I don't have completely every tool to put into action definitely and properly everything I was learning. And that's why I just decided to go out of my comfort zone. And the comfort zone, like I thought, was not just my village, it is in my mind. You can do whatever you want from anywhere, but there are things that need certain specific location. For instance, you cannot sell ice cream in Greenland, or I don't know if they're selling ice cream in Greenland, but you cannot sell ice cream in an area that is freaking cold. It doesn't make sense. Now, there are certain things that need certain location, but most of the thing that you want actually happen in your mind, and that is why you have to free your mind and make great decision. Now, if you can go back in time, what would you do differently? For me personally, I would have studied more. I would have, give myself more time to be more patient while also adding, because I love being in action. I love being in the action because I think I learn more by being in action, because that is how I understand things. I cannot, stand and, be in a class and just thinking, okay, I can understand this. And that also have a downfall because it doesn't allow you first to understand certain kind of principle before starting things. But also I have a leverage because when I do things, I make a mistake. I know what is not working and left it, and what is working, and then I make my own theory about things. Like I said in another video, education is not to create things. Education is not to create things. Education is to help understand things that have already been created. Things that are already been created, and the hope of trying to recreate them. Think about it. Science doesn't create anything. Like, science do create things, but science is not what created the world. The world was created and science is used to try to explain the world. Now, that's why we need education. We need education to even understand ourselves in order to replicate certain area that we like in ourselves, and in order also to destroy certain area that we don't like. That's why we need education. That's why we need education. Because most of the time we don't like to study or we don't like to educate, but we don't, because we don't know, we don't understand what education is. Education primarily is just to understand what is already happening, because you don't educate or you don't study to create things. You study to understand things that has been created in order to understand how you can recreate them in a very better way or in a different way. That's what education is. Now, why am I making this point from what we were talking about earlier? Because you need to understand that whatever you can go back to do is based on the education that you have had now, which is the information that you have. And that means if you have no education now, it means you're probably not learning anything from life. And education is not just in school, it is also happening in life and right now. So you have to focus and learn things. And if you're given a chance, because every time you have been given a chance, every time you wake up in the morning, there is a new chance for you. That is a new chance for you. You have to be grateful. You have to use it wisely. You have to use it to your greatest advantage, and you have to use it to just do the best that you can. And mind you, we also make the mistake as thinking that money is what was going to change the thing. Of course, money is important. I'm not going to disagree about I need money. Everybody needs money. Everybody wants money because we need money to survive. But here is the question: to survive, to do what? Like, why are you surviving? We survive to aim or to complete our purposes. And now, how do you find that? That is another point that we will do. That's another video that we make. But for now, what I want you to focus on is knowing what you would do differently if you were given a chance, and start doing that now. And that is what is going to change your life, because that is what might work for you. And if it does work, just change the plan, just improve. I know it's a tree, you can change. Even trees are changing, like they are literally changing. So just keep learning, just keep learning, and definitely don't let yourself down, because this is a really long process, and this is a long life learning journey. And the pressure is in the moment. The pressure is being obsessed about providing value to people, to changing people's life, to changing your own family, your own community life, to bringing hope and inspiration to the people around you. And that is not easy. It is not truly easy. It is truly tough. It requires you to work hard, to find what you are truly interested in, and you already know it. And I will upload a video on the 3 personalities that you have in yourself, so that you can understand how to navigate those things, and how you can navigate yourself in the world, and knowing also how each personality can also sometimes be counterintuitive in themselves, like a personality that you have in yourself. And this is not a personality disorder. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the 3 personalities that we form as we are going through life, and those personalities help us to do specific things in life. And if you don't understand them, you will misuse them to not achieve your goal, because each personality is aiming at a different thing. So understanding them separately makes you knowing how you can use them into your greatest advantage. And that's how you do this, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're having an amazing time. And okay, I'm looking beautiful. I don't know. I know I'm looking beautiful. Thank you for your compliment. I love it. But here is this. I have a new haircut. It's looking beautiful. Although this my head is a big the big front hair is amazing, but you know I have this line too deep, so making my front hair huge. But actually I look pretty beautiful, so it doesn't matter. Everybody does look beautiful, but I look the most beautiful. Thank you. Just a minute. Well, this is the weekend, and I hope you have an amazing weekend as well. I just wanted to say that before I cut the video, because I will not come back to this again. Ciao.